Hi, I'm Jay. Today we're tying some squirrel tails that I use in the summer and through the ice. Stay tuned. So, good morning. We're at the bench today. I'm actually tying a jig that I use both in the fall and then often early ice, but through the ice during ice season. We've had a very mild fall in New York State. We've had some nice crisp fall days, but it's been very, very dry, like unseasonably dry, I think. In our area. So the perch and walleye bite is doing really well right now. Even though it's deer season, I know there's a heck of a lot of guys out perch fishing still, and they're doing great. So this is a jig that I like to use. Let's switch over. I use it in the fall when perch are fairly deep, but I also like it through thick weeds or through the ice, early ice, for a couple reasons. Squirrel tail's always been super productive. Jigs with squirrel tail just flows real nice. It's a really nice material not only to tie with but to fish with. And today I'm using just a dyed squirrel. It's a brown dyed squirrel. You could also use a chipmunk, or some guys call it red squirrel, which is a natural brown reddish color. But I like the dyed squirrel just because you have more nice long fibers. I'm tying this. This is a 1/16 right now, though I also like the 1/8 in the fall, and I'll tie them as small as this is a 1/60. So nice small, but this is the Shad Dart head. And what we're going to do is we're using Uni Thread. This is the Glo thread. It's a 3/0 size. Glo thread, though it's very flossy. If I let up on the tension, you'll see fibers. Or if I hold the end, you'll when I cut this, you'll see fibers. So it's a lot like a floss. But we're going to tie with it today. You can see I just nicked the edge of my jaws, and you can see a fiber or two sticking up there. That won't hurt anything. This is tied on nice, locked on well. So we'll begin by taking a pinch of our squirrel tail. We're going to tie this on just like a bucktail, removing any of the fibers from the base, any of the short hairs. And squirrel doesn't usually need any restacking. These fibers are all a nice even length for all of them. And the tail will be the length from the eye to the bend of the hook, past the bend of the hook. And on my vise, I'm aiming to about this 4th mark on the back of my vise. And that looks good. I'll switch my hands and keep this pinch nice and tight. I'll lock this on. A few wraps towards the bend of the hook, a few wraps back. I'm going to give this a twist. Now I'll have to take a picture after, but this thread glows. It's fantastic. You put it in your glow cup or you leave it out in the sun a little bit. And it's a nice bright glow. I'm going to add some crystal hair to this, but what is it? You can get glow tinsel, right? Which would also work very well with this. I just want to put this second wing on the same length as the first. Again, keep this pinch nice and tight. Couple wraps to the bend of the hook, couple wraps back. Looks good to me. And then often I'll put the angel hair, crystal flash, crystal hair. I'll put a couple strands down each side, but on this I like 4 strands. And I put it right down the belly. What is the belly of this jig? So right down, straight down the back as I'm tying it. Okay, right down the center. Couple wraps towards the bend of the hook, couple wraps towards the head, and I'll go back to the middle and then back to the head. And I'll give these a slight trim just so they're just about the length of the tail. Often guys will tie these on much longer, which is totally fine. I like to keep everything fairly uniform. And then we finish this off as normal. We take a size A thread of a different color, put it underneath our last wrap, couple wraps towards the bend of the hook, couple wraps towards the head of the jig. And it's a little difficult. You know, I'm trying to maintain a nice shaped collar. The Shad Dart, the shape of the head, it does get thinner towards the hook shank, so you know, I try to take good care to keep my collar nice and uniform, but also not too bulky, so it looks like a ball of thread. I think we did okay here. There we go. And as always, I'll finish this off with lacquer based head cement. Let's turn this off here. And there we have it. Shad Dart squirrel tail with a little bit of crystal flash on it. But that collar, the Uni Glo thread, works so well. Throw this in your glow cup, put that UV light on it for a couple minutes, and it's one of the brightest materials. I've had paint that's not even quite as bright as this Uni thread. But like I said, you could also add, instead of that crystal hair, you could get the Glow Flashaboo, and that comes in a few different colors, so you can kind of match your thread. You could add that instead of the tinsel. I think the Flashaboo is a little bit thick for these size jigs. Like I said, I also tie down to the 160. I use the 160 an awful lot during ice season. So, but I think that will do it for us today, guys. I will do these in a couple different colors some with black heads, some with chartreuse heads, and then I have the different squirrel tail, the dyed chartreuse, a natural gray, a dyed black. So those are all the colors. Those are the 4 colors I use, mostly for in the fall, and like I said, for ice fishing. But I think that's going to do it for us today. As always, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any new content. Feel free to share any of our videos, as it does help increase awareness for the channel. Check out my website, jworthhandtied.com. And until next time, guys, tie up some squirrel tails and tight lines.